What is going on, my YouTube friends? Guys, I just had to show you this first because look at this gorgeous piece of machinery. I mean, ain't this thing beautiful? Come on now. This thing is so awesome. I love this car, man. I really do. This thing is just, when they built this car, yeah, buddy. It's called Sex on Wheels. Let me turn this around. I know, I'm not exactly right, but I do love that car, yeah, buddy. So anyhow, this ain't about the Mach one today, it ain't about me, it ain't about Papa Mach, this is about the Fairmont. So we're getting ready to take off, me and the wife, we're gonna take a little road trip, and we're gonna go get the 351 Cleveland that's gonna be built for the Fairmont. So we're gonna do that this morning, take a ride out there, yeah, buddy, get that thing, get it loaded up. I got the cherry picker in the back of my truck, so hopefully everything works out good, you know, because he didn't have no way to pick it up. So I says, I'll just bring my cherry picker and we'll get it back in the truck, get it home, and get it put on the motor engine stand. You know what I mean? Yeah, buddy. So, guys, stick with us. We'll be back. I figure I'd get a little shot before we go because this is about the Fairmont. Yeah, buddy. We're getting ready to rock and roll. So once I get the Cleveland in here, like I said, I get on the engine stand, and we'll start taking the heads and that off of it and inspect it and see exactly what we got to do to go for. And like I said, yeah, buddy, we got the cherry picker in the back of the garage, the back of the truck. So we're going to go out there and got to meet the guy about 9:30. So the wife's getting dressed and we're going to head out that way here shortly. And then we'll bring you back. Well, we're back. That was pretty fast, wasn't it? Yes, it was. So we went out there, drove out there. You know, it's about 40 minutes away from my house. And we got out there, and he didn't want me to videotape, which I understand, privacy. I get that, you know. Real good guy, helped me out, had his little son with him, you know, we helped him out and this and that. And they gave me the engine. If I was to go buy this block, it'd probably cost me, you know, a couple $100 or more, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get it apart. He says it's locked up, which is not a problem. More than likely, it's probably a bearing or something like that. If not, you know, we'll fix whatever needs to be fixed. I mean, why not? If we got to sleeve it, we'll sleeve it. Right? Yeah, buddy. So I plan on taking this engine and I plan on, you know, boring stroking it out to a 408. So that's my plans with it right now. Got some really cool valve covers, so we'll get those cleaned up. We'll reuse them. And so there's a lot of stuff that we'll reuse. So he even gave me some headers, but they ain't going to fit that. So I don't think so. And I'm going to probably go with aluminum heads. Not sure exactly what, but in my mind I got a little idea, but it depends on the money. Quit listening to me, man. Let's turn this thing around and see what we got. 351 Cleveland. It's a 2-barrel engine. It's got 2-barrel heads. As you can see, the 2 right here. So that means 2-barrel heads, and I'm guessing 72, 73, it's probably open chambered heads. Like I said, it's got some pretty cool valve covers. It's got a C5 transmission. Notice the dipstick goes into the oil pan. All right. So this is a bigger housing than the C4. So it's actually a pretty good trans. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the trans yet because my plans are to go with a turbo 400. But we will see. Nothing's guaranteed yet. It's got a little Holley 2-barrel carburetor on it. And it's got the small bolt pattern, which tells you it's a 351 Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, buddy. If it had the bigger bolt pattern on it, that'd be the 351 modified 400s. So, but yeah, like I says, is that probably should take it down to the power wash and power wash it off. Let me get this other stuff out of here, and then I'll go down there and I'll go to the quarter wash and, well, it ain't a quarter wash anymore, but you know what I'm saying. And we'll get this cleaned up. So, all right, let me bring you back. Well, I didn't go to the quarter wash or the dollar wash or the high pressure wash. I didn't go, and I'll tell you why. There ain't no spark plugs in it. And I ain't got no spark plugs to stick in the hole, and I'm not filling those holes up full of water because the engine is supposed to be locked up. But I want to make sure before I start spraying water down the holes, which I'm not going to anyhow. I'll plug the holes. But anyhow, so that's why we didn't go. So I just blew everything off of it, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the trans and stuff. Let's turn this. Like I said, there's no spark plugs in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop that trans off, which I'll have to probably take the trans off and then pull the converter off after, if it's locked up, because that's what they said, it's locked up. So I'm guessing maybe they poured some oil down the spark plug holes at one time or another, so maybe it loosened up. I don't know. We'll find out more about this engine as we pull it apart. Like I said, it's got the good valve covers on it, man. So, home run there. So, I mean, you know, shouts out to my friend Eric that I work with that hooked me up with this engine. He come out there, helped me get it. Him and his little 10-year-old son, which was awesome meeting him. Me and Eric, we hired in together. We've been working together for the last 24 years. He did my heating and cooling in my house last year. Great guy. Or matter of fact, yeah, it was last year. Great guy, and he is the one that put me onto this. So I appreciate him wholeheartedly for helping me. So if you watch this, Eric, thank you, buddy. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start playing with the engine, getting the trans and stuff off. I'll put that trans over to the side. Of course, I'm gonna keep it because you can't find those transmissions anymore. They're getting impossible to find. Yeah, so we'll find out exactly what block this is, and we'll go from there. But either way, it's a good block. So we'll find out the numbers, the date, everything on it to find out exactly what it is. Once I get on the engine stand and start taking the heads and everything off of it, and we find out more about the engine, this is going to be the engine for the Fairmont. Yeah, I parked the 21 Mach 1 outside so I get in here and work, so I stay out of the sun. Yeah, no, and hey, if I make a mess in my garage floor, it's fine. I can't do it out in the driveway. You know what I mean? Yeah, buddy. So let me start pulling this trans and stuff off and getting things ready, and I will bring you back. Well, I haven't quite started pulling the trans off yet. So I did set it on the floor, and I started pulling off the alternator, the power steering pump off this thing. Getting ready to pull the distributor, get the carburetor and that off of it. The distributor, I'm sure that distributor's frozen in there. I pretty much guarantee it. So we'll go ahead and get the bolt out and spray some Corolla oil down in there and let that thing sit for a while. And hopefully that Corolla oil will help loosen that distributor up, because that is definitely a points distributor. So for you young guys that ain't never seen a points distributor, here you go. So it's kind of gonna make little shots about, you know, as I'm going along taking this stuff off. I'm sure you don't want to watch me pull this stuff off, because I'm sure there's a billion videos out there, people disassembling these engines. But I got the power steering pump off, which is cool, because that power steering pump, you ain't getting that power steering pump no more. That is the same power steering pump that my 70 takes, same alternator my 70 takes. I mean, this right here stuff, guys, this is the last of the Cleveland stuff right here. You know what I mean? So we're slowly, you know, picking apart on this thing. I'm going to get the valve covers off, get the distributor out of here, and then I'm going to take the trans off last. I did get a couple of the torque converter bolts out. Yes, the engine is locked up. So with that being said, I'm going to have to get the trans off, pull it off, and then pull the torque converter off. I got two more bolts which are up high that I can't get to, but once I get the trans pulled off, should be no problem getting to them. So I will bring you back shortly when I get some more of this stuff stripped off the engine. Yeah, buddy. And I'm just dying to wait to see what's underneath those valve covers. Oh my goodness. Because something was living behind that flywheel. Oh yeah. And I'm sure it was small enough to get in there and leave a lot of trash. So this ought to be interesting. I'll bring you back. So we got all the front and everything taken care of, except for the water pump, which I'm using that for a hook point for the cherry picker. Distributor came out. Sorry guys, couldn't save it. Thought I could, but it was in there. But I will say it loosened up enough for me to get it out of there and break it. Make sense? No. But anyhow, yeah, man, I'm still working on this thing. Like I said, it's coming a lot quicker to you than it is to me. And, you know, with the magic of video, right? Yeah, buddy, that's why we make these. So I really need to get the thing picked up, turned around so I can get the trans off. I already got the inspection paid off. I got two bolts out of the torque converter. I got the two top ones I still need to get out. So we're probably going to have to muscle that trans to get it off, which shouldn't be too bad. but it's been on there a long time, so who knows? So, yep, we're still working on it. And I got my pile of stuff I'm throwing away. I got my pile of stuff I'm keeping. Don't ask me why I'm keeping that fuel pump. Maybe just for, later on to look and see, make sure. I don't know. Because, yeah, this won't have that kind of fuel pump on it later. Or carburetor. But the carburetor's still good. It still works. So probably a good rebuilt kit if somebody needs a Holly carburetor. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're getting somewhere. I haven't taken the valve covers off yet. I think I'm going to kind of wait until I get it on the engine stand to take those off. But I'm really wondering why this thing's locked up. Because I'm guessing that somebody's done some work to this engine before. Why they left it a 2-barrel is beyond me. I don't know, but this engine has had some stuff done to it sometime or another. But let me get this thing picked up, get trans off of it, and I will bring you back. Yeah, buddy. So, got the trans, the converter, and everything out. And like I said, somebody's been in this thing before. Purple converter. Who makes purple converters? That didn't come from Ford, so I'll tell you that right now. And then, so everything came off. I still got some kind of critter or something that probably lived in there at one time, or maybe he's still living in there. I don't know. All the noise I'm making, you think he ran out. Either that or he buried himself in deeper. But he'll be finding a new home soon, whoever it is, whatever it is, But I took the intake bolts out to hook the chain up so I can, get ready to put it on the engine stand. And when I pulled the bolts out, it had gasket maker on there, gasket sealer on there, Permatex. I almost forgot the name of it. But anyhow, so it had blue Permatex on there. So somebody's been in this engine for some reason, somehow, some way. And once we start taking it apart and getting the inners and everything and find out why it's locked up, then we'll see what size cam and stuff's in it. Then we'll go from there. But this is going to be a whole different engine because I'm planning on going with aluminum heads and everything. And we will talk about that later. I'm just showing you my progress as I go along right now. So let me get this thing on an engine stand and then we'll start pulling the heads off. Yeah, buddy. It's probably a good thing that I'm not videotaping this whole thing because it'd be a whole lot of videotapes and you people be hating me. Righty then, look what we got here. So I got the bolts out of the flywheel. So let's pull this thing out and see if anything jumps out at us. Woo-wee, is it packed in there? Yeah, buddy. Let's get this out of here. See what we got. Now we just got a nest. We disturbed somebody's home. But hey, it is what it is. Now let's get this over here. Let me get this cleaned up and I'll bring you back. I just figured I'd share this spot with you. You know what I mean? Yeah, all right, buddy. Man, we got it on the engine stand finally. Yeah, buddy. Really didn't take that long, just a couple hours. Get everything off of it. Took a little breaks here and there, just getting things done. But we got her on the engine stand. Sits on there nice. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the heads and the intake and everything off now. While I'm working on it and got a nice day and it's, nice out and everything like that. Then later on we'll take a shower. Me and the wife take the cars out, maybe go for a little ride somewhere. Go to a cruise in or do something, There's something going on out there on Telegraph. Yeah, buddy. So anyhow, I'm just kind of like, bringing you guys along as I'm doing little things here and there. Yeah, so we're getting her done, baby. Oh, yeah. We're getting it apart anyhow. I'm really interested to find out why this thing is locked up. Because it was locked up when they took it out. And like I said, somebody's done some work to this thing. It had headers. He gave me the headers and stuff like that. So it had headers and stuff on it. So the car's been hot rodded. There's no doubt about it. But I just wondering if it seized from sitting or if, maybe a spun bearing or, there could be a number of things. Maybe a rod's broke or something like that. That's what I'm wanting to find out what's going on with this thing, Because whatever it is, I'm sure we can fix it. We're going to have a nice 351 Cleveland. Ford stroked out to a 408 for the Fairmont. Yeah, baby. So we're working on it piece by piece. And if I need a little help here and there, the wife comes out, helps me, jacks up the cherry picker and stuff for me and that. So been a nice, pleasant day today. Haven't cussed much. We all know why it is working on these cars. So anyhow, like I said, I didn't want to make a long drawn out video. So I'm just like giving you steps of where I'm at the time. So let me go ahead and pop these valve covers off, and we'll look underneath these valve covers and see what it looks like under there. Yeah, buddy. Because like I said, somebody's been in this engine, and I want to find out what they did. Alrighty, so we got the valve covers off, as you can see what's going on here. This has been sitting a long time, so I don't know, if water got in there or what, or maybe a blowed head gasket and water got up in here. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it definitely is messing with these front two cylinders on both sides. So let me go ahead and pop all the rockers off here and put them in a box, and I'll soak them or something like that. I'll clean them up. I'm not going to reuse them anyhow, but still, they're good to have. So let me get these off, and then I'll bring you back. So yeah, so I'm wondering if this thing at one time overheated or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Once we get out there, get it all apart, we'll see what happened. Alrighty, so I got all the head bolts and everything out of here. I'm getting ready to pull the heads off the intake and everything like that. Make sure I got a second look here. Make sure I did get all the bolts and everything out of there. Yeah, buddy. Throw them up here with my little junk pile. Yeah. So anyhow, I'm really wondering, you know what I mean? And then we'll pop the heads off, and then we'll make sure the oil's drained, and then take the oil pan off. So yeah, beautiful thing, beautiful thing. So let me go ahead and get this intake off, start popping these heads off, and then I will bring you back. Yeah, buddy. All right, man, I'm going to tell you something. Mr. Mach 1's got a mess. Oil pump, harmonic balancer, the heads are off, front timing chain cover is off. Yes, this block needs some attention. I would say so, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't have the mic to check it to make sure what the bore size is, but I don't know if it's ever been bored out or anything, so we'll find that out when we take it to the machine shop, which I got to get with them anyhow. But yeah, the cylinders, man, they're a bit rusty. Oh yeah, they're a mess. And once we get the oil pan off, and I'll see how big of a mess they really are. But yeah. And hey, that one's got some corn. Anybody need some corn? Yeah, buddy. That one too. So I'm guessing there was those spark plugs in there, so I probably dropped the corn down in there. So yeah, it's a mess. So let me get this stupid oil pan off, and then, not stupid oil pan, let me get the oil pan off, and then we'll get her together and find out, because I don't think there's a whole lot of oil in there, but hey, we're gonna find out before I drop the pan. Yeah, no? So I'll bring you back. So I have to tell you, I'm back. Guys, this thing looks like it's been hot. It has definitely been hot under here. So I'm guessing we got a crank problem. Oh yeah. I'm guessing we got a crank problem. We're gonna find out. Yes, we are. We are gonna find out here shortly. But I need to clean up some of my mess that I got here, because I'm getting down into particulars where I need to start saving some stuff and being careful. So, let me turn this around. Out here in the garage, went over this morning, we got the engine, brought it back, I got it, started taking it apart and put it on the engine stand. Yes, the thing about it is this is gonna be a 408 now, so I'm not really worried about the crank or anything like that. It's going to have different rods in it. It's going to be a different engine. So my biggest worry is the block. And it's a 1970 block. So that's a good thing. I just wish it was a D block, because like in the Mach 1, the 70 Mach 1, that's a D block. It's like the best block you can have. This right here is the square block. So let me go ahead and start popping off these. Let me turn this around. No, I'm not going to turn around. I just turned around on me. You would rather look at that though, right? Anyhow, guys, let me start taking this thing apart here right quick. I got to do some cleaning up, because like I said, I got a huge mess, and we need to get it cleaned up. So I will bring you back once I start pulling these main caps off and bearing caps off, and oh yeah, it's gonna be ugly, I'm pretty sure. But hey, like I said, it's gonna get all new crank and everything. I'm just mainly worried about the block. I'll be bringing you back. No, I really forgot what a pain in the butt it was to take apart a seized engine. I really do. You know, I mean, I really did. But, you know, taking this thing apart and looking into it and seeing what's all going on with it, it's really sat too long to really tell. But I'm going to tell you something. It's called lack of oil. This thing was ran with no oil. I mean, look at the crank. You know, so whoever had this, whoever drove this car at one time, they drove it and they never put any oil in it. I don't think they ever checked it, because I mean, that's what it's really come down to. You know, I mean, this engine has gotten hot, and I really believe it's for the lack of oil. So no, I didn't save any rods or pistons or anything like that, and I don't plan on it, because this is all going to get replaced anyhow. But the point being is that, you know, if we would have knew back then what we know now, we would have treated these engines a hell of a lot better. But I'm to the point now is that I think that it was lack of oil and it seized up, because some of the bearings are just horrific. I mean, come over here and look at this crank, man. I mean, and the thing about it is, it sat so long too, so it's really hard to tell. But I mean, it's war. You know, look at that. You can feel that. And that was like that. You know? So I mean, it's in bad shape. Can the crank be fixed? Oh yeah. But I'm not going with this crank. I'm going with the scat crank. Yeah. So as you can see, you know, this thing's, it's gotten hot. But then again, lack of oil, and then on top of it, sitting. You know, this thing, who knows how long this engine sat for. You know. So basically is what's going to happen. We're going to take this. I know, look at my mess. I got to get this cleaned up. Woohoo! But I mean, it's just, you know, you can see in the cylinders how bad from it sitting. You know. So I mean, we'll see what happens when we take it to the machine shop and see what they say. Still got to pull the crank and add it, or the cam and shaft out and stuff, but I'm not going to pull it. I'm not going to mess with it. You know. So I mean, look at that bearing. You know. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. You know. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and turn this around and end this video and clean up and go take me a shower, and we're gonna go take the Mach 1 and the Shelby out and go for a ride or do something or race each other. I don't know. We're gonna do something. See, I've been doing something, man. I'm wiping my forehead with old greasy hands and stuff like that. But all in all I really need is the block, because the heads are gonna be replaced, the crank's gonna be replaced, all new pistons, everything, camshaft, all that's gonna be redone. So I don't need any of this stuff, but I would like to keep it around, because you never know when you might need it. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, the crank, it can be repaired. I'm not worried about that. And I'm not going to use it anyhow, but I want to keep it. So I'll clean it up the best I can, and then I'll store it. And then when the time comes, I'll take it down and I'll get it machined or whatever it needs to be done. You know, boy, oh boy, my face is sure is dirty. Look at that. Look, I've been snorting in the mud. Yeah, buddy. So, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for sticking along. I figured you wanted something a little different than the Mach 1 stuff and the car show stuff. So I went over and got the engine today, which, I was glad he met me over there today. Thanks, Eric. You're my buddy. I got the block, spent most of the day taking this apart. All I got to do is just make an appointment with the machine shop, get it over there, get everything checked out, and see what I really need to do with the block to get it to where I want it to be. So, guys, you guys are awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if anybody tells you any different, you tell them come see me, and I'll tell them you're awesome. Have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time it is you watch this. Yeah, buddy.